Big Trouble in Little China is a masterpiece, Carpenter's magnum opus, a story driven by two simple things: imagination and escalation. Bucking many narrative tropes and trends, this becomes a wild journey of creativity framed around a nomad's adventure in the exotic land of San Francisco Chinatown. Add Kurt Russell, Victor Wong, James Hong, Dennis Dunn, and Kim Cattrall.
Don't panic, it's only me, Gracie Law.
Directed by the master himself, John Carpenter, and you get literal magic. But you know what? It's been a while since we've discussed the happenings of the old Pork Chop Express. So today I'd like to explore the scene that somehow defines all of it. But what could that be? And truth be told, I can't. Because there isn't a single scene when there are multiple examples of what makes Big Trouble shine. So I am going to cheat a little. Today I'm going over 3 scenes, not one, that define this 80s cult classic. I'm Lance Vlcek for JoBlo Horror Originals, and this is Scene Breakdown. Though I think the argument this couldn't get made now tends to be one of good intentions over actual fact, Big Trouble is a movie that is intrinsically tied to the era of its release, and the type of flick studios would greenlight. So yeah, Big Trouble in Little China, with all of its strangeness and wonder, would likely not get made today. And that's fine. It's best to appreciate the creative boom from each distinct time period. It's what makes these movies special, and why, as we've learned time and time again,
it's all in the reflexes.
Let's break a few rules and give 3 defining scenes that I believe sum up the mojo of Big Trouble, and which may not be what you'd expect, but, and this is important, serve as the pillars of heaven old Jack needs to stay steady and strong. And yes, expect spoilers from a movie nearing 40, because, as I read the comments, that is something that will come up. Also, these won't be in order of importance, since they each serve as a key moment. No. Let's start where most things do, the beginning.
That's how it always begins.
The actual start of the movie, because besides Carpenter's synthy theme, we establish Jack Burton as a cross-country truck driver. A man traversing the continental United States who stops off at his final destination. Jack sits in an alleyway during the dead of night, gambling on a small table covered from the rain. As dawn comes and the sun rises, the pool has shrunk into just Jack, the legend that is Kurt Russell, the man whose lucky streak has put him on 10, alongside Wang Chi, the great Dennis Dunn, who's now dead, beat, broke. Wisely framing these two at odds, yet, business friendly. This establishes Burton's sass and swagger, while Wang establishes his cunning wit and spiritual need for Mao Yin. What I absolutely love about this opening scene is that it establishes both characters' quirky beats and personality traits. It's essentially a chemistry test for each character, while giving us the fun, adventurous tone that would build throughout and peak in the underground temple of Lo Pan. It's as charming as all hell. Look how boisterous Russell plays Burton while winning. It reminds me of the scene in Seinfeld where Kramer accidentally gets a job, and the montages of him laughing and befriending all the co-workers. Burton may be over his head for most of the runtime, but you are on his side almost immediately. And we get the great line and his reaction time that does come back in the end.
It's all in the reflexes.
A simple scene that does a lot of heavy lifting while coming across as a simple lost bet and a ride to the airport. Alright, we need to talk about the alley scene. It's what takes Big Trouble into the next level of craziness, and where the style of what's to come is set up. This is the moment that stuck with me as a kid. Seeing this was randomly on TV. I had no idea what I was watching, but it was special, strange, and magical. And from the woman closing her window shades as a warning of what's to come, the sly setup of Lo Pan, to the traditional Chinese funeral that turns into a turf war. Now, it's been said before, but I must repeat. Whenever Al Leong shows up, you're gonna have a good time. And I love the fast-talking style from the 30s and 40s here. Burton calls them sing-dings and is immediately corrected without missing a beat. Yet the perspectives from Burton, so this random shootout in the alleys of Chinatown, are completely foreign to him. Then things turn into a Chinese standoff.
Chinese standoff.
Now, let's appreciate the coverage and blocking Carpenter does here. It's quite epic. So much is going on, it's damn near comedic. that this kind of casually happens out here, but the sense of geography is clear, the action is tight, and it's where things truly go full on mystical. The entrance for each of the 3 storms is pure Carpenter gold. Their look, the oversized straw hats, the over-expressionalized close-ups of each of the characters. When Thunder does his martial arts moves as the camera dollies in, establishing how tough these f***ers are is cinema at its finest. Capping off with a low pan in a moment I feel still stands as genuinely creepy. For a fun movie where, there's never a doubt the good guys are gonna win, James Hong's low pan is such a great foe. It brings more than an iconic look, but the mannerisms and style that Hong brings is just brilliant. I know he got a star a couple years ago and the man deserves it, but every time I watch this, it's like, dude, you nailed it. It caps off a scene that blends the comedic banter, kung fu action, and Chinese mysticism all in one. It's well known and a fan favorite, but it's deserving of the credit. It's a defining moment that propels the story into the world of action fantasy.
Just get out of here, Jack! Get out of here!
And last, I'd like to end on a more relaxed note. A scene that is just some beautiful character moments between an ensemble. The final fight for the world is about to happen. Lo Pan and his army await in the temple to marry Mao Yin and sacrifice Gracie Law. But before our men can take on the evil sorcery below, they find a hidden room with a bar and an elevator down into the final battle. One where the supposed hero, Burton, gets knocked out almost immediately. Something I'm not going to cover here, but great moment. And we get one of the best lines in the movie.
Hollow?
Hollow. Fuck it.
I've always been a fan of these talking scenes, one where everything slows down and we get to have a conversation, an exploration of the situation at hand. Having something this human, this low-key at such a pivotal moment, is not only great story-wise, but Carpenter, once again, reinforcing the heart and soul of Big Trouble in Little China. The friendships. I know it's so lame to say, the friends we made along the way, but it's true. This is the friends we made along the way. Egg Shen's see things no one else can see line. I mean, Victor Wong is having the time of his life right now. Everyone here plays it with such confidence, and the cheersing scene is Wong at his peak.
Oh, what's in it, Egg?
Wind, fire, all that kind of thing.
But as Egg Shen and Burton are discussing the merits of Magic Potion, Wang Chi comes in with an amazing moment of heroics, patriotism, and camaraderie.
As to America's colors, the colors that never run.
And then, goddamn Jack Burton comes in with an ending that makes it a flawless victory. I love this little speech, it is perfect.
May the wings of liberty never lose a feather.
Cut to a center frame, everyone is crammed in the elevator, heading down to save the day. The sly look of happiness from the background characters, to Jack and Wang sharing a smile. Jack's, he's feeling pretty good. Slowly revealing everyone to be a tad high. I love it. And then we get Wang's positive outlook. This is the kind of scene that I feel like some studio exec with no idea on where the soul of a movie lies would cut, honestly. Now, it's an essential character moment, but I love that the movie stops to let it happen. We just kind of hang out for a few minutes, and in doing so, get something that reinforces what makes Big Trouble work. And this many years later, Big Trouble in Little China not only holds up just as good as it did in the 80s, but it's become clearer, especially in how Hollywood works now. Just how damn special this whole adventure is. Big Trouble in Little China lives on because of 2 things: imagination and escalation. We start with an alley bet and end with mystical beings, magic, and monsters, all seen through the eyes of a truck driver, hamming it up as a John Wayne surrogate. One who doesn't understand the situation and is not ready for it, yet we love him anyway. To repurpose the ending lines from Hill House, I believe explains Big Trouble's defining attribute, the willing relinquishment of reasonable patterns. We yield to it or we fight it, but we cannot meet it halfway. And as always, John Carpenter was wise enough to go all in.